Who's the first person that comes to mind when I mention forgiveness or letting go? Are you carrying something heavy, something that drains you every time you think about it? Maybe it's anger, resentment, or frustration from the past. Is it like you're carrying a 50-pound backpack everywhere you go, even when you're eating, working, or trying to enjoy life? That's what holding on to anger or resentment is like. It's an invisible weight that exhausts you. Now, you might already know deep down that holding on is affecting your mood, your relationships, your sleep, and even your health. What if you could finally be free? In this video, I'll show you how to release what's weighing you down or draining you without digging into trauma, forcing the F word, that's forgiveness, or sacrificing your boundaries. And I'll also explain why it's toxic to you to hold on to what needs to be released. Imagine drinking a small amount of poison every morning, thinking that it will hurt the person or situation that you're angry with. That's what resentment does. It punishes you, not them. I'll also talk about why we hold on, and I'll give you helpful perspectives for letting go, and we'll talk about how to let go easily and naturally. And by the end of this video, I hope you'll have clarity on just who or what you need to let go of in order to create a great next chapter, and what to do if you're angry with someone you love, such as a spouse, partner, or family member. I'm Mary Vasson, a hypnotist, NLP expert, and coach, and for the past 13 years, I've been helping women over 40 dissolve stress, release emotional baggage, and feel energetic, confident, and radiant. And we don't dig into trauma. Now, what do you need to let go of to move forward? We carry old hurts, disappointments, anger, and frustration. And the reason we want to let go of them is because they are energy drains. They drain the life force, the joy, the love, and the playfulness right out of us. And you know what else they do? They make us bitter. In order to live joyfully, you'll want to release these heavy burdens. Do you really want to keep this stuff going into the next stage of your life? Look, it's easy to carry around some blame and resentment or anger. And does it hurt the person that we're angry at? No, it hurts us because we're carrying around a representation of that person. And where does that representation live? Inside of you. So if you have bad feelings about this person, guess whose nervous system is affected? Yours. These burdens come between us and openness, between us and joy. Also, continuing to hold on to this energy gives the other person or situation or event control over us, because every time we think of them and these emotions come up, it's like they've got a remote control and they're pushing our buttons. I'm going to invite you to consider to let go of thoughts, resentments, anger, and disappointment that are weighing you down. You can choose to let it go, knowing that to forgive, not condone, is a gift to yourself. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not going to forgive because I was wronged. And there might be a part of you, the justice part, that wants to hang on. Whether you were violated, mistreated, disrespected, shamed, or wronged in any way, I'm telling you, if you want to move forward and make the second half of your life the best half, you must forgive, not condone, and let it go. Now, how do you let go? Well, first, you can thank the part of you that's been clinging to justice. This part of you has good intentions. It thinks things should be fair, but life's not fair, and you know that. And this part of you that's clinging to justice is probably also very narrowly focused and causing you to miss out on the goodness of life. It's draining you. Now, let's talk for a minute about perspective. Perspective is everything. Think about it. Let's say you're looking up at a big, wide sky and you see an airplane going across the sky. How fast does it seem to be going? It seems like it's going really slow, right? Now let's say you're looking up at the sky through a paper towel holder and you see that airplane and it goes by like that. How fast? Fast. It's all about perspective. So I invite you to decide, what perspective do you want to take about what happened to you? I'm going to share 4 different perspectives. See which ones resonate with you. Perspective number 1, everyone is operating from their own programs and experiences. We're all just a bundle of programs. And by the way, when you get into a relationship with someone, it's not you getting into a relationship with that other person. It's your childhood programs getting into a relationship with their childhood programs. Pretty crazy, right? And it can explain a lot. Now, anyone that hurts another person is most likely operating from a bad childhood program. It's like they have a virus on the software of their brain, and they acted in accordance with their programming. Now, this programming can be changed, by the way. It's what I do every day in my practice and in my online course, and it works when the person wants to change. Using hypnosis, NLP, psychosensory techniques, and other methods, you can easily change your program without digging into trauma. Now, let's go to perspective number 2. Everything that happened was meant to happen. Now, there are many intelligent people that believe that before we emerged in a physical body on this planet, we made a pact with the universe or God, a pact that we would go through everything that we went through. And the others who did things to you or hurt you, even things that may seem unspeakable, they may have also had a contract with the universe so that you could get the growth by them doing what they had to do to you. Now, this is a perspective that you could choose to adopt. What if anyone who hurt you was only fulfilling what they had to do so that you could grow and emerge stronger and become someone who can better help others? I'm not saying you have to believe this, but it is one perspective. Now, perspective number 3, we can be grateful for everything, because everything that's happened to us has made us who we are today, stronger, better, with greater perspective. You wouldn't be who you are without every single experience that you've had, and every experience brings some gifts. Now, it also might bring some pain and challenges for sure, but by the end of your life, you will find gifts that these experiences brought you, if not before. Now, perspective number 4, the other was just meeting their needs, even if in an unhealthy way. Now, what do I mean by this? Everything that you or anyone else does is in order to meet needs. Now, that's the only reason anybody does anything, to meet a need. And there are a lot of different systems that describe human needs. For this purpose, I like to use one that I learned from Tony Robbins. Tony teaches that 6 different needs explain all behavior. So there are 4 basic needs: certainty, variety, significance, and love and connection. And then there's 2 higher needs, which are growth and contribution. Now, once we see this, once we really understand this, we can see that it was never about us. It was only about the other person meeting their needs. When we really see this, we're free. Now, let me explain this a little more. Let's talk about the 4 basic needs, and then you'll be able to understand why anyone does anything. Need number 1, certainty. We all have to have some certainty in life. We need to know that we have food, a place to live, income, etc. And there are healthy ways to get certainty, such as exercise. You know you can choose to exercise. You know you'll feel good after. You know it increases certainty that you'll be healthy. Other healthy ways to get certainty: eating healthy. I'm certain that when I eat healthy, I have more energy. Saving money. It gives you certainty about your future financial situation. Now, what about unhealthy ways to get certainty? Well, you could have an angry outburst. Are you pretty certain that if you started yelling at someone in a restaurant that you'll get a reaction? To get certainty, someone might also try to manipulate another. Someone could pull a gun on another person. I'm pretty sure they'd get a reaction. Now, need number 2, variety. We all need certainty, but we also need variety. Otherwise, life would be incredibly boring. So how do we get variety? Well, there's so many healthy ways. We could go to a new restaurant, we could travel, we could try a new sport. What about unhealthy ways? A person could have an affair, they could yell at a colleague. There are any number of ways to get unhealthy variety. Now, need number 3 is significance. We all need to feel that we're significant, that we matter. And there are many healthy ways to get significance. You can volunteer, you can create something, you can donate money, any number of things. Unhealthy ways to get significance. You could hit someone. You'd be pretty significant to them in that moment, or maybe it would temporarily make you feel significant. Someone could try to control another person to feel significant. Is this sinking in? Okay, need number 4 is love and connection. We all need to feel loved and especially connected to others. Feeling disconnected is one of the main reasons for depression. That and believing our thoughts and obsessing about ourselves. Now, here are some healthy ways to get love and connection. You can share experiences. You can participate on a team. You can be in an intimate relationship. What about unhealthy ways? Well, you could carry prolonged anger at someone. It's connection, but it's unhealthy. Also, commiserating with others about how much your life sucks. That's unhealthy connection. So one perspective you could take when considering something that someone did to you is that they were just meeting their needs, albeit in an unhealthy way. Is this making sense? So I invite you to choose your perspective. They were just following their programming, there's a higher reason, everything that happened made you who you are, or the other was meeting their needs. If any of these perspectives resonate with you, leave a comment below and let me know which one was the most powerful. Now, why do we hold on to anger, hurt, and disappointment? It's probably pretty obvious that holding on isn't good for you, yet we do it. Why? There are several reasons, and I'm going to highlight 3 here. Number 1, the first reason we hold on is because we think we're punishing the other. But are we punishing them, or are we keeping ourselves energetically connected to that person? Did you know that anger keeps you even more connected to someone than love? So if you're angry at someone, I want to ask you, do you want to be this connected to that person? Now, the second reason we hold on to anger, hurt, and disappointment is we're getting benefits from holding on to those old stories. I'd like you to consider, without judgment, what benefits are you maybe getting from holding on? Are you getting certainty, knowing you can pull up that old story anytime you want? Or maybe you want certainty that you're right. Or maybe you want excuses for not stepping up in your life. That happens. Are you getting significance by holding on? A lot of people spend a lot of time talking about how big their hurt is. My hurt is bigger than your hurt. Are you getting connection by holding on? It's incredible how many people love to share their terrible stories. Why? Because it creates connection. Oh, I understand how you feel. I was also disrespected, abused, violated, treated unfairly. Look, acknowledgement is okay. It's actually healthy to be able to acknowledge what happened to us. But if it goes on and on, no. I know people who tell the same stories for decades. That's not healthy. Now, number 3, another reason we hang on to these heavy burdens is the justice part of us. That part of us that means well, that wants justice, is clinging to the old story. So we all have these various parts or aspects of ourselves. And this part of you that wants justice, it has a positive intention. It wants justice. It wants fairness. But the clinging might be hurting you. So I invite you to look into this further. What's the justice part of you providing? What's her reason for clinging to it? What purpose does it serve? Maybe this part of you still wants some sort of connection to this person, even if it's lousy. Ask that part of you why it's holding on. And if the part says, I'm so angry, ask, what does that anger provide? What's its function? Maybe the part says it's protecting you. So ask that part, if I'm protected, then what? And if the part tells you if you're protected, you'll feel free, well, then you can ask the part if it can see how that anger keeps you from feeling free. Now ask this part of you that's been wanting to hang on to the anger or frustration or resentment or disappointment. What's its function? At the end of this video, I invite you to have this dialogue with this part and then write your insights in the comments below. Now I have a question for you. Who or what, if you forgave them or released them, would make the most difference if you let go? It could be a person, an event, or a situation. What do you need to let go of so that you can move forward? Like I said, we're talking about releasing or forgiving, not condoning. Now, does this mean that you're letting someone off the hook? Yes, and that someone is you. The other person has to live with their own conscience and with whatever karma or end of life consequences will come to them. But you releasing the person that gets gets let off the hook is you. Now, what if you still love or care about this person? To forgive or release doesn't necessarily mean that you let go of them. Maybe it's a spouse or a partner or a family member and you love them, but you're angry. It's about letting go of the current version of your relationship to them, letting go of that old representation so that a new relationship can emerge. Is this making sense? Now, some of my clients have said, I understand what you're saying, but it's hard. And my question to you is, can you let go of that old belief long enough to acquire new resources, to free yourself from this old program that you've been stuck in? I invite you to consider, what do you need to let go of now so that you can live the next chapter of your life as you've dreamed? Will you choose to let go of the anger, resentments, and stories that keep you from living your dream? When will you choose to let it go so that you can move forward? And what if everything that happened to you made you stronger? What if everything you went through created this tremendous strength that you have inside, strength that will allow you to live your purpose and inspire others? What if everything that ever challenged you was a gift? Another thing, let's remember that what happened back then isn't happening any longer. If it is, if you're in an unsafe relationship or situation, then you need to get safe before you need to worry about forgiving. Take care of you. But if something's in the past, does it even exist anymore? If you think it does, tell me where. It's not in any physical location. Now, there might be reminders of it, but it doesn't exist. All that's here is the present moment, and you can choose to live in the now or to focus on the icky parts of the past. What feels better? So I invite you to let go and to imagine how it would feel to have released destructive stories that you no longer need. What would it feel like to have let that go when you wake up in the morning? Don't have it weighing you down. Now, I hope this video has given you lots of new perspectives to consider, and I hope you have some insights as to why we hold on and clarity about what you might want to let go of. If you're ready to free yourself from the weight of the past, here are some next steps. If you want to do this on your own, rewatch the video and apply these perspectives. Most people forgive without the help of a professional. Forgiving or releasing is free, which means there's an infinite return on that investment. Want faster results? Well, you can inquire about a one-on-one hypnosis session with me, a private paid session, or a recorded free session that would be shared with others. And there are links below. Now, if you want to transform completely, my 8-week online course, Reboot, Upgrade, and Reignite, is designed for women over 40 who want to release emotional baggage and reclaim energy, confidence, and radiance. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm rooting for you. Before you go, one thing I'll ask of you, write one word in the comments below that describes how you want to feel after letting go.